Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big ideas using the source material behind them. Today we're tackling a huge problem, the prison crisis. But we're going to come at it from a really different angle, a philosophical one. What if an ancient idea about education is the key we've been missing for modern rehabilitation?
Okay, let's just start with a number. 44.9%. That's the rate of prison overpopulation in a country like Colombia. And look, this isn't just some statistic on a page, it's a crisis. It means any real attempt at rehabilitation, it's pretty much dead on arrival.
And it's not just an observation, it's a verdict. Colombia's highest court basically said the situation is so bad that the prisons themselves, they're actually making things worse. They're not just failing to fix the problem, they're actively creating more crime. The system is broken.
So, this really forces us to step back and ask a pretty radical question, right? If all the usual fixes, the policies, the procedures, aren't working, what if the whole foundation is just wrong? What if the solution isn't about tweaking the system, but about totally rethinking what it even means to learn, to become a good person?
Okay, so to find a path forward, we're actually going to travel way back in time, like 2,000 years back. We're going to dig into an ancient idea about education that completely flips our modern way of thinking on its head.
All right, so there's this philosopher, Plotinus, who basically said, hey, we're doing education all wrong. His big idea was something called emanation. Think about it like this. Learning isn't about pouring water into an empty cup. It's about helping a flower that's already seated inside you to bloom. It's an unfolding from within.
And he puts this so beautifully in his writings. He says that every one of us, we have this built-in capacity to grow, to develop from this core principle inside us, just like a seed. That potential for goodness, it's not something you add. It's already there, just waiting for the right conditions to take root and grow.
So you see, for Plotinus, education isn't about going out and collecting facts like stamps. It's a journey inward to find out who you really are. This whole idea, this pedagogy of emanation, it tells us that goodness isn't software you install. It's a hidden treasure you have to discover within yourself.
Okay, but wait a minute. This raises a huge question, right? If goodness is already inside us, then how do we, learn to be good? Can you just follow a rule book? Or is there something more to it, a deeper way to actually train that inner moral compass?
Fast forward to the 20th century, and another philosopher, Max Scheler, comes along with a pretty powerful answer. He called it the material ethics of values. And the core idea is this: morality isn't about memorizing some abstract rules. It's about learning to perceive real values like justice, compassion, truth, that actually exist out there in the world.
And this is a really fascinating shift in thinking. You've got the old school view from guys like Kant, which is all about rules, follow the universal law, do your duty. It's very formal. But Scheler says, no, morality is about perception. It's not about the checklist of things you do. It's about what you're able to truly see and value in the world.
And here's the best way to think about it. Scheler's saying that being a good person isn't like passing the bar exam. It's more like developing really good taste in music or art. You have to train your perception, learn to feel what's right, what's just, what's true. And a big part of that is getting your own self-interest out of the way so you can see clearly.
Okay, so this brings us to a really practical problem. If being moral is a skill, like learning to play the piano, you have to practice. But how do you practice making high-stakes ethical choices without, causing a disaster in the real world? Where's the training ground? Where's the safe space for this?
Well, the answer is kind of surprising. It comes from the world of play. Yeah, play. Let's dive into our next source and see how this all connects. So check this out. The historian Johann Huizinga wrote this incredible book called Homo Ludens, which means man the player. And his whole argument is that we've got play all wrong. It's not some trivial thing we do for fun. He says play is a fundamental, deeply serious part of being human. It's the bedrock of our entire culture. And what makes the game a game? Huizinga had this amazing term for it, the magic circle. It's a special space, totally separate from regular life. And inside that circle, things are different. The rules are absolute, the goals are crystal clear. It creates this perfect, ordered little world. It might not be real life, but man, does it absorb you completely. And that magic circle, that's the answer to our problem. It's the safe space we were looking for. It's basically a laboratory for ethics. Inside a game, your choices have real, immediate consequences. But, and this is the key part, those consequences aren't permanent. You can mess up, learn your lesson, and hit the reset button.
It's the perfect training ground.
Huizinga called this drive to compete within a set of rules the agonal spirit. And once you see it everywhere. I mean, from ancient philosophical debates all the way to a modern esports tournament like the one you see here. It's this deep human need to test ourselves, strive, but to do it within a structured, rule-based system.
Okay, so let's pause and put all the pieces together. What happens when you combine these three huge ideas? 1. Learning unfolds from within. 2. Morality is about perception. And 3. Play is the perfect training ground. What do you get? What you get is this incredible thread, an intellectual lineage that stretches across nearly 2 millennia. It's amazing, really. You connect Plotinus's idea of inner potential to Scheller's idea of seeing values, to Huizinga's idea of the magic circle, and suddenly, a completely new, powerful model for education just clicks into place. And here's how you could actually put it into practice. Step 1, the premise. You start by believing everyone has that seed of goodness inside them. Step 2, the goal. You're not teaching rules, you're training people to see and prioritize values like justice. Step 3, the method. You use games, a safe moral gym to do that training. And step 4, the outcome. You help them connect what they learned in the game to their real-life decisions. That's real resocialization. And what's so powerful about this is that it goes way beyond just punishing bad behavior. This is a deeply humanistic approach. It takes our inner world, our soul, seriously. It's a blueprint for an education that doesn't just want to control people, but to actually help them grow into better human beings, from the inside out.
And this leaves us with one last, really big thought to chew on. If every game is a kind of moral laboratory, then we have to ask ourselves, what are we teaching? What are our kids, and what are we, learning from the games we play every single day? I'm talking board games, video games, but also the games of politics or business. What moral muscles are we building? The answer to that? Well, that affects a lot more than just what happens inside a prison.